Ticker symbol VOCL showing a massive amount of strength. Let's go over the details now. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. Once again, this is ARCa coming at you with the VOCL technicals and raw price action thread of analysis on this Taco Tuesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so we are looking at VOCL on the daily chart here, and this is in fact the very same chart that we looked at the last time in the live ticker picker that I put together, right? So what we are looking at here is a potential breakout out of this falling wedge. Okay, so now to be very clear with you, I don't usually like to see these breakouts happen at around 50%. Or 55% of the, to the apex of the triangle itself, right? So it's a little premature, but it's not to say that it doesn't happen. In fact, it is showing that it is a high probability here for it to continue on to the upside. In order for us to gain a psychological target or price objective, we actually have to take a trend line from the top side of the triangle all the way to the bottom side of the triangle. We apply it to the area of breakout, and that would essentially give us a target a target of about 3302, which just so happens to be the lower end of this candle right here on the L. You can actually see that it's dead on the 33. Okay, so, and again, it's not to say that we are going there. It's just per the playbook rules. That's just how you trade it. Let me see if I can get Fibonacci retracement from the previous day's swing high to the swing low. It's already it's not enough, so let's take it from the current price action swing high to the swing low, right? So this is where if we hover over the candle, we can see on the high right over here again, right? So we'll see that that's, what's the high there? It's 19 cents. So let's just go to 19 cents like this, and then take the retracement all the way down to the bottom side, right? So here we go. Now that is in fact taking us right to right in between the 272 and the 2 spot 272 and the 2 spot 618, which is the golden mean. So it's already giving us a pretty good bias for that. Okay, so let's just go ahead and take a range like this, and that could be like our overall range. Okay, so now that we have an upside thesis, let's go ahead and validate to see if there could be a potential there. First of all, we should notice that we are getting an uptick in volume, and you can see right down here that we are actually getting an increased amount of volume, which is a very good situation here. Another thing to notice here, that the formation itself was in fact validated simply for the fact that we had declining volume. Okay, so when we have declining volume just like this, that usually means that we are within a triangle formation. Okay, you guys, so now let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we have. This is a very interesting chart here because I'm going to show you the SMI MFI indicator, which is the stochastic momentum index paired with the money flow index. Okay, so money flow represented by the histogram in the back, blue and red bars, and we can actually have the stochastic momentum represented by this blue line here. By the spectrum line here. Okay, so the very interesting thing here is that when we're looking at this in the 6-hour time frame, we're starting to get the first long signal here, and we're starting to get the first bar of increasing money, meaning money entering the asset. Okay, so this is very, very good, as this is a very aggressive upside suggestion. Now let's go ahead and look at the 8-hour time frame and see what we have. You can see here that we absolutely have an upside stochastic pivot as well. We have diminishing sell pressure, and we're starting to get that first little tiny blue indication that the money flow is about to turn positive. Okay, so this is very good to consider as well. 12-hour time frame, very similar situation. We're in fact starting to get that corrective curvature here from the stochastic momentum with declining sell pressure as well. Let's move on to the next chart and see what we have. Okay, you guys, so this is the 5-day volatility versus momentum profile. Okay, and I want you to notice here that we are in fact getting an upside pivot from both the EMA 3 and the SMA 14. Okay, so that's very, very, very important for us to consider when we are critically expanded, when we are within the 90 percentile of the volatility, of the BBWP indicator, which represents volatility itself. It's actually very important for us to get this oversold area with an upside pivot paired with that critical volatility, because an incoming upside move is very likely to follow that condition. Okay, you guys, so now we do have the opportunity to close with a bullish engulfing here. And what do I mean by that? Actually, let me see if I can am I going to be able to get it? This candle versus this candle, right? So that is, let's see. Maybe. let's see. So we have a opening of 1398, and this is going to be a closing of 1398. It's okay. They're at the same area. But trust me when I do say that if we do close this candle anywhere upside of the 1697 area, closing above the range of the previous 5-day iteration would essentially serve as one type of validator for a continuation to the upside. Okay, so I just want us to be just very careful with looking at things like this. Okay, you guys, so please, let's go ahead and now take a look at a couple other things, as there are several other upside signals stacking up currently. Okay, so please notice here that this is, and you know what, I'm just noticing another one right now. I actually didn't get to draw all of them in, right? So what I am drawing at the present moment is actually drives of oh, is this another one too? Yeah, here is another one. Okay. Yeah, these are drives of regular bullish divergence, which is usually found when there is an opposition of price action versus momentum. Okay, meaning that I'm going to show you right now the other condition for that. So I'm just going to draw the one that we were just looking at. There we go. I got to draw this one in as well, just like this, and perfect. Okay, so yeah, what you're looking at here are 3 drives of regular bullish divergence, which usually happens when price action is making a series of lower lows and momentum is opposed, making a series of higher lows. Okay, so in this case, you can see that we are in major pivots here and primary drives themselves and validated. Now the daily is actually getting very close. This RSI signal itself getting very close to that gravitational zone, very likely to continue to the upside here. All right, so now let's look at the multi-pane to see if we have a perspective from the immediate short-term time frame. All right, so let's start off with the 30-minute and see what we have. Okay, so 30-minute already finding that support from the 14-day simple moving average with an upside pivot. Okay, we have the 4-hour with a massive upside pivot here, getting very close to that gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile with an upside pivot on that 14-day simple. The 8-hour time frame, absolute upside pivot here, getting close to that gravitational zone too with an upside pivot on that 14-day simple moving average as well. Let's see, the daily time frame, we already talked about it, finding that support from that, from both the 14-day simple moving average and the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile with an upside pivot. Very, very impressive. By daily iteration directly in the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile, and very likely going to be pulled into the upside here. Now looking at the 3-day time frame, please notice that it has made a very bullish cross upside of the 14-day simple moving average. And now the 14-day simple is starting to make that corrective upside pivot. And please notice that the 3-day is actually located right in the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile, very likely to continue on to the upside. If we were to take into consideration the 5-day RSI, it looks like we do have a limited upside, but please remember that the 5-day, the distance between the RSI signal and the 14-day simple moving average on a 5-day RSI is quite the distance away. Okay, so yet again, guys, I think I do have to give you, I would honestly say that there is upside to be looked at this in the immediate short term. Okay, you guys. So if we are looking at a few targets to keep into consideration, definitely keep in mind this 2167 area as it is the resistance of our range here. Okay, so right around 2167 at the 272. If the sentiment so does decide that we do have a continuation probability here, it would be in respects to not only validating the newly converted resistance into a support, but please notice here that we do have the NOT 618 at 1526 alongside the newly converted resistance as support as an area that we can face a bounce from and continue on to the upside. If the psychology does feel that it does deserve a continuation to the upside, even still, definitely keep an eye around the 2507 area at the 1.618. Of course, any of this can be invalidated, guys, with any type of trickery, nefarious price action or predatory, whatever. All right, you guys, but please know that we do have the mathematics suggesting a continuation to the upside. I still have about 9 or 10 seats left in the ArcMasters trading course, guys. Please find the email in the description below. Send me an email and get enrolled, and we will go over the price points for that. Okay, you guys, but remember first and foremost that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. All right, guys, but with that said, I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.